I found a more interesting car to drive for the credits grind race, which is the Ford GT 2017. As you can see, this is at the East Circuit at Tokyo Expressway. The 2017 Nissan, which I've been using, got a 2:11.5 or so, which is faster than the Ford GT. However, the Ford GT is much more fun to drive. And I have two settings for the Ford. One setting, which the weight and power balance is closer to what I have on the GTR. And down here, 214 or so, maybe 13.7, I forget which one these was, is with maximum power and weight and maximum ride height. So what that is that it goes faster on the straights, but over the course of the whole lap, it's not faster. So if that makes sense. And then this R32, I think I used racing tires and I had really low horsepower and low downforce, and it's faster per lap, but I was getting stuck in traffic, so I couldn't win the race, because like the cars would just pass me on the straight and then I'd be stuck behind them through the slow section, and then more cars would pass me on the straight and then I'd be stuck behind more cars in the slow section. So even though it's a faster lap time, it doesn't produce good results with the grind race. Anyway, onto the Ford. So I'm going to choose first the top speed one. This is the settings for the top speed. Maximum ride height, some weight ballast, maximum power. I mean, I could even get more horsepower, but it's just going to, the slow section is going to be so much slower that it's going to slow down the car even more. I have not tuned the differential. The differential seemed fine, otherwise I would have tuned it. This is exactly as it is when you get the customized differential. And then modifications, brake controller, and that's that. So I'm thinking of, for the wet section of the race, is I'm going to increase the acceleration sensitivity to my usual setting, but for this dry section it's fine where it's at 35. And here we go. I have the stock transmission, so there's no gearing to show on this car. It's just whatever stock is. It seemed fine enough. I don't get to use first gear, which is fine. There's 7 gears. I could probably optimize the gearing if I have closer gear ratios. If I use first gear with a customized transmission. So as you can see, I'm already at 180 miles per hour in 7th gear. At around peak power, this is geared for top speed. So you want to be reaching maximum speed at peak horsepower so it can maintain the speed, which is probably close to where it's at, 193. So I'm going very fast, but I have to brake very early to make this turn. And it's still a little bit late. Should have eased off the brakes a little bit earlier. No traction control. I might need it for the race, but this is just practice for now on the dry circuit. I have to lift here a lot and even brakes a little bit, and top speed is, or minimum speed is 21, or maximum speed there is 121 miles an hour. I get a lot of push on throttle here, so I can't floor it out of that chicane. Getting push around this turn. Brake real early, long brake zones. I need to take a tourniqueted exit so that I can accelerate full throttle out of the turns, otherwise the car has too much push on throttle. which I'm not going to tune out. I'm not going to spend time doing that. And it'll also change the performance points. I have to brake early here in the dry. It's not even wet. Easy on throttle. Very easy to over rev just like that. Oops. It could have been better, but it's a 2:14.1. Now the other setting. The not so top speed setting. These are the settings: ballasts, power restrictor. So there's a fine balance between maximum power and weight. This car might even be faster with less power and less weight. This is at minimum ground clearance, and of course the modifications and brake controller. I don't think I have anything more to say about it, but like I said, it could be more optimized for lap time by reducing the horsepower and reducing the ballast. And these are generic spring settings. Could be better. I don't necessarily want to tune the car for sports hard. Let's see what I could go lower. I'm not getting very much brake oversteer, which is probably better for the wet section of the race. But I don't want to lower this too much, so I'm gonna leave it where it's at. Now with the lower ride height, it doesn't get as much push on throttle, but it's also prone to throttle oversteer mid-corner if I get on the throttle too early, because it doesn't push on throttle. It still has a little bit of push, but not enough to prevent it from spinning on exit with too much throttle input. As you can see, I'm still getting really fast top speeds. Just a little bit further down the straight. 188, almost 190. Brake. And still pretty early for the dry. Nope. I almost didn't brake early enough. Easy on the throttle through the exit. Roll on the throttle smoothly. I still have to lift throttle here, 5th gear. I'll try to ease on the throttle, almost 10 miles an hour faster in that section. This section is very important for outpacing the AI, because they're very fast on the straights, and we need to have a significantly faster lap time to beat the AI. Shell braking, a little understeer on the brakes. I would like more under tray rake, which I might do. Might get some under tray rake on there and then reduce the horsepower. Still braking pretty early for the dry compared to the GTR. So I've gotten a 12.0 before. I'm gonna do another lap, see how that does. See if I can go faster. Get into the 11s maybe. It's possible. I just need to optimize the lap. I don't know where I can brake here. It's pretty early, or pretty late for, what am I trying to say? The 200 board is very late for this car. There's too much throttle. Too much mid-corner speed there. Could have gotten on throttle earlier. Lift and coast. I want to be on the throttle through the corner much faster, much better. If I had a little bit more under tray rake, it'd be easier to take that corner faster. And it's probably worth the trade-off. It's easier to get on throttle through the chicane. And slower. So I didn't optimize the track better than my previous lap. But it's certainly possible to get into the 211s. Oh, faster. But not fast enough. Maybe I can do one more lap. So the whole reason for choosing this car is just because it's more fun to drive. If I'm going to be driving the grind race daily, I want to drive a fun car. The GTR is quick, and all-wheel drive is very, very functional, but it's not as fun. Let's see if I can brake late here. Trail brake. Slow down. Slow down more here. Much better throttle there. Lift and coast. Back on the power. Dab the brake. Back on the power. Brake. Oh, a little quick. Very sketchy to rotate there. Okay, that's the oversteer on throttle because the car is lower. Has better aerodynamic oversteer. Seven tenths, okay. A little bit too fast on apex. Pushing a little too hard. Yep, there's that rear wheel drive inefficiency. Much easier to get on throttle with the Nissan. Lost a tenth. And easy 211, or relatively easy. Probably possible to get into 210s, but it'd be a lot more difficult. And let's watch some replay. Maybe I can get a good thumbnail. So does this have active aero? It does. So it's getting competitive times, and it has a higher top speed than the Nissan. It's just a little bit more difficult to drive through this slow section and maintain mid-corner speed. You have to be very delicate on throttle, on exits, but I think it's pretty competitive with the Nissan. And like I said, I could get a little bit more under tray rake, raise the rear a little bit, and reduce the horsepower because of the what do you call it? The oversteer calculation affects the performance point calculation. So if I give it more mid-corner rotation, I'll have to reduce the horsepower a little bit probably. Also going to adjust the acceleration sensitivity on the differential, give it more lock, because the open differential works really well in the dry, but not so much in the wet. So this is where I'm struggling. This is where most of the time is gained. It's right before the chicane and through the chicane. I was 7/10 up, or is it this lap? I don't know, but I was 7/10 up on one of the laps. I think it's the next lap. Then I lost a tenth in this brake zone. An exit, I over-throttled the exit. Till the next one.